Hi there guys, so Eddie Hearn has given an update on Dillian Whyte's next fight and it seems like it will be Alexander Povetkin. That seems like the general consensus, and Andy Ruiz Jr. is now off the table. Now obviously the Andy Ruiz Jr. fight would have been a great one. Obviously it had to be in the UK and I don't think Andy Ruiz Jr. would have wanted to do that. So he was offered the fight in the US as well, but still he didn't want it. Now obviously there was a back and forth between Dillian Whyte and Andy Ruiz Jr. on social media, both of them saying that they were the ones that wanted the fight and the other guy didn't. Now personally I would imagine that it was Dillian Whyte who wanted the fight and Andy Ruiz Jr. who wasn't so keen. He is coming off a bad loss to Anthony Joshua, a 12-round beatdown where he lost his unified heavyweight world titles that he had previously won on June 1st against Anthony Joshua. So Andy Ruiz Jr. is only just coming back, so he doesn't want the heat of Dillian Whyte. Obviously you'd have to give him credit if he took that fight, going straight back in there in the Lions Den with Dillian Whyte to try and get straight to the top of the heavyweight division again. But it's not going to happen. He doesn't want it. He wants to have a few tune-ups and then come back. It's just whether Andy Ruiz Jr. has the motivation to do that, to get up for a lower level opponent. But obviously that is up to Andy Ruiz Jr. Whether he wants to do that or not is up to him. He's the one getting in there taking the punches, so he gets to choose who he fights, I guess, especially at this stage of his career. But again, I'm just worried about his motivation levels going in there against a lower level opposition when he apparently couldn't get motivated for the former unified heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua. But anyway, Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin, that seems like the fight that we are going to get. It will be in the UK. And interestingly, in previous interviews, Eddie Hearn has explained it will not be in London. It will likely be in Manchester or Liverpool, somewhere like that. Not necessarily London, and I think Dillian Whyte has explained it won't be at the O2 as well. So it doesn't seem like Dillian Whyte's next fight will be in London. He looks to move around the UK. Now obviously it's great to have Dillian Whyte in the UK. He's great for British boxing and he always gets the result. Joseph Parker, that was a very tough fight and a fight he didn't have to take, yet he took it. And the Oscar Rivas fight, I remember when that fight was announced, I was like, what is this guy thinking? I mean, Oscar Rivas isn't a well-known name, yet he's an absolute beast. He's a machine. And Dillian Whyte is mandatory to the WBC world champion Deontay Wilder, and he's taking a fight like this. You have to give him props for doing that. That was madness and it came off. Dillian Whyte came through that and beat Oscar Rivas very comfortably on points. He got knocked down, but I don't think that was generally because he was hurt. I think he crossed his feet and it was just a lapse in concentration for Dillian Whyte. He didn't seem too hurt. So Dillian Whyte next looks to go in with Alexander Povetkin, who is coming off a draw with Michael Hunter. Now Michael Hunter is a very underrated heavyweight. You can see he goes in there with monsters and chops them all down. And the fight between Michael Hunter and Alexander Povetkin really showed what Alexander Povetkin is about, because he was hurt bad in that first round and it looked like he was going to get stopped. Michael Hunter was younger, fresher, faster, maybe a bit more powerful in there, especially on that night. But Alexander Povetkin shown his skill, shown his toughness, his durability and his experience to come back and even hurt Michael Hunter later on in the fight and grab some rounds and make it a draw, because it wasn't a great start. Any fighter who can come back from an atrocious first round like that and build his way back into the fight, you have to give props to. Now this is by no means going to be an easy fight for Dillian Whyte. While I do believe he is the favourite, it's not necessarily just a 50-50 fight. Maybe 55-45 in Dillian Whyte's favour. It's not going to be an easy fight, but as I said, Dillian Whyte would be the clear favourite in my opinion. But you can just see the experience, the durability from that Michael Hunter fight, because he was in trouble, bad trouble in that first round. And at 40 years old, he really had to dig deep and find something within him that would pull him through that situation. And Alexander Povetkin found it. So he has clearly shown that he has something left to give in the heavyweight division. And Dillian Whyte seems to be the next guy in front of him. And as for how the fight will play out, it's going to be an absolute war. Center of the ring, neither of them are going to want to take a step back. This is going to be an absolute slugfest. If it goes 12 rounds, then it will be absolutely brutal, because as I said, neither fighter will want to take a step back. Both Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin will want to stand there and trade with each other. They are both very good boxers, but neither of them can resist an absolute slugfest, and I think that is what we will get when these two step in the ring together. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Eddie Hearn seemingly confirming Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. It will likely be in Manchester as well. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, click your thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.